right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'm one of the yoga instructors here for Yoga for Caregivers. So, this is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our body, stretching ourselves out, getting us ready for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So, as we move through our practice today, let's keep in mind our boundaries. Notice, where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps just find a center posture. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed or they can be straight out in front of you. We will wiggle back and forth and root into our sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. One more time, inhale as the shoulders come forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You can close the eyes if you'd like, or just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze today. In the Native American medicine wheel, based on Sun Bear's vision, the spirit pathways teach us about the qualities we need to cultivate growth and movement. These physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional qualities help you better understand yourself and what will allow you to thrive. Clarity is the first stone in the Eastern pathway. When you come to this position in the medicine wheel, it's to create simplicity in your life. Use your abilities of discernment and critical thinking to eliminate confusion and communicate directly. It's an opportunity to be clear, or to clear the thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, and habits that clutter the mind. This position is represented by the hummingbird, who exemplifies the clear reception and transmission of life force energy. As it reaches for the sweet nectar of a flower, it burns through that energy with its rapidly beating wings. Here, you have the opportunity to consider, in what ways can I clear out my heart and mind? Where am I blocked that's preventing me from being spontaneous and honest? As you move through your practice, allow these questions to roll around in your mind. Notice what answers arise as you breathe and stretch. So, centering in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. Then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale the breath back out. Take another deep inhale here as you begin to feel that belly expand outward, feel the torso expand. And then exhale as you feel the torso and the belly compress down toward your spine. Inhale as you feel the collarbones lift and that air come in the nose and fill the lungs. And then exhale as that air leaves the lungs and go out the nose. Feel the shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Continue breathing with intention, inhaling and exhaling, really being present with the breath here. Now, if the mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay, it happens. So the moment you've noticed you've gone away, celebrate the noticing and then come back to your breath, back to your inhales and your exhales. Now, if it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath. Inhale, I am. Exhale, clear. Inhale, I am. Exhale, clear. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. Take another deep inhale here as you set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale as you feel that intention with your heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out as you set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Really great work. Let's go ahead and come up off the prop if you are seated on one today, and we're going to lie down onto our backs. So coming down onto our back, make sure that your space is clear here. We're going to start with our knees up in little mountain, soles of the feet are on the floor. We'll bring our knee or our arms out to the side, and then we'll go ahead and just find a couple windshield wipers here. So allowing your knees to float back and forth. If you got a yawn like I do, that is okay. Just kind of letting your body start to gently stretch out, welcome in some gentle movements here. Good. And then the next time you fall over to the right, allow the legs to remain right as they are, but pick up that left leg and then sweep that knee up toward the right arm. Ooh, it hovers there for a moment. Feel that nice twist toward the spine. Trying to keep your leg parallel with the floor here as it hovers. Keeping that left shoulder blade rooted down onto the mat. Good. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, release, plant that left sole of the foot down to the floor. Inhale, bring the legs into center. And then exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the left here. Let's go ahead and inhale. Now sweep that right leg, that right knee up toward the left arm. Oh my gosh, lovely stretch through the back, lovely twist here. Again, that right leg is now hovering parallel with the floor here, feeling that twist through the spine, and we're keeping our right shoulder blade rooted down onto the mat. Letting out any yawns that you have. Good. And then inhale, come back in the center, drop that right foot down. Inhale, we'll come up into neutral. Great work. Go ahead and take that right foot and create a figure four, crossing the ankle over that right knee or that left knee. Now you can stay right here if this is enough of a stretch for you in the right hip. Excellent. If you'd like, take that right hand and gently press that right knee away. You can stay here. If you'd like, you can inhale, lift that left leg, creating that 90-degree angle with the left leg, and then at the same time, continue to press that right knee away. You can stay here. Option is to take your fingers, interlace them behind the left leg, and then use your right elbow to press that right knee away as you draw the legs in toward the body. That is going to deepen the stretch in that right hip. We're essentially in our reclined pigeon here. We're getting a lovely stretch through that right hip, keeping the feet gently flexed here. So we're protecting the knee joints. And then wherever you are today, let's take a couple nice deep breaths here. Great work. Inhale, just drop that left sole of the foot down to the floor. Leave the legs where they are. Bring those arms back out to a T. And then exhale, allow the legs to fall over to the left here. That knee stays up toward the sky. Feel the pull through the outside of the leg. Nice rotation through the spine here. But really now we're targeting the outside of the right hip into the outside of that right leg, that IT band space. And if you need a deeper stretch, you can always hike the knee and the foot closer to the arm. That will certainly deepen the stretch, but it's an option. It's not a requirement. So notice where your body is at today, not pressing further than it's ready to go. Good. And then inhale, press into that left elbow, bring the legs back into neutral. We're going to leave that left leg where it is, but extend that right leg toward the sky. Take the hands, interlace them behind the thigh or behind the shin. Extend that left leg long, and then exhale, draw that right leg down toward the body, keeping it as straight as you can. So now we're getting a lovely stretch to the back of this right leg. Shoulders are shrugged down, keeping both feet gently flexed, pressing the eye of the knee on the right leg away from the body. So, again, we're getting that full expression through the back of the leg. And if straightening the leg out means you can't pull it in as far, that is totally fine. So, sticking with the deepness of the posture rather than trying to get it down to your chest with a bent knee here. Good. And then inhale, that leg comes into center. Exhale, allow that leg to fall open to the right hand, can come to the inside or the outside of that right leg as we get that nice half Y opening here. Now we're getting an opening through the inside of that right leg. Foot stays gently flexed here. Both shoulder blades are down on the mat. Leg could be hovering. You can also put a prop beneath the leg if you want, like a block or a bolster. These are some options. They are not requirements, just noticing where you want to be today. And notice if those toes are wanting to rotate down to the floor, see if you can keep them parallel with the floor instead, kind of doing that internal rotation. Adds a little bit of a challenge here to the posture, deepens that stretch through the leg. Great work. One more deep inhale. Good. And then inhale, bring that leg back into center, and then lower that foot back down to the mat, bending at the knee. Lift that left leg, create that figure four here, crossing the ankle over the knee on the right side. So again, you can stay right here. This is a great option. You can use your hand to gently press that left knee away. Great option. You can inhale, lift that right leg up, creating that nice 90-degree angle, and continue to press the right knee or left knee away with the left hand. You can interlace those fingers behind the left thigh or right thigh, I'm sorry, and then use that left elbow to press the left knee away as you pull your legs in toward your body. So again, we're back in our reclined pigeon. We're feeling that deep stretch in that left hip now. Oh my gosh, we're breathing. So notice, especially with the hips, if one side is tighter than the other, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It does mean there is some asymmetry there. But when we practice, this is the opportunity to kind of get our bodies back into a sense of symmetry, right? To at least stretch ourselves out and do the same thing on both sides, which we don't often do in life, right? We usually eat our cereal with one hand or the other. We tend to drive with one dominant hand. We hold our cell phone in one hand, or we even put one foot forward first when we're climbing steps. And so this is a great way to really care for our bodies and to treat each side of the body in the same way. So on the next exhale, go ahead, lower that right foot down to the floor. Arms come out to a T. Again, leave the legs right where they are, but allow this unit to fall over to the right here. So again, that left knee stays reaching up toward the sky. We're now feeling that stretch to the outside of the left leg and the hip. We're getting a nice twist through the spine. We're keeping both shoulder blades rooted down onto the mat. And now you're welcome to stay here if this is enough of a stretch, excellent. Or you can always hike the knee and the foot closer to the right arm, which will deepen the posture. But of course, it's an option. It is not a requirement. So noticing what your body needs here today. And let's take a couple deep breaths. Great. And then inhale, press into that right elbow. Go ahead, bring your legs back up into center. We'll inhale, extend our left leg up toward the sky. Take those hands, interlace them behind the thigh or the shin here. Extend that right leg long out to the end of the mat. And then exhale, draw that left leg in toward your body. So now we're getting that lovely leg stretch on the left side. So right foot and left foot stay slightly flexed here. So we're protecting the joints. Again, pressing the eye of the left knee out and away from the body, pulling that leg in. So we're feeling the depth of that stretch. Shoulders shrug down, soft face here. And then breathing nice and deep. If you've got a little bit of a tremor going like I do, that is okay. Simply means the body is not used to doing this, and that also is okay. trying new things, pressing our bodies, challenging them in ways that we may not do on a regular basis. Good. Deep inhale. Good. Exhale, allow that leg to come back into center and then allow it to fall over to the left. So again, left hand can be above or below the leg as it opens up into this Y position. Comes to hover over the floor. You can always put a block beneath the leg, trying to keep those toes parallel with the mat instead of allowing them to dip down. So again, we're getting that nice deep stretch to the inside of that left leg. Oh my gosh, we're feeling it here. We're breathing. Again, this is a nice pelvic opener as well. Both shoulder blades are rooted down onto the mat. Couple breaths. Good. And then inhale, go ahead, bring that left leg back up into neutral. Bend that knee here. Let's bring both feet beneath the knees. Hips are rooted onto the mat. Hands are down on either side of the hips. We're going to come into our bridge pose here. So inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up toward the sky, bridge. Weight should be in your feet and in your shoulders, across the band of your shoulders. Exhale, lower back down. Make sure the weight is not in your head or in your neck, but again, in the feet and in the shoulders. So make any adjustments you need here. And then inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips again, coming into bridge. So we're not turning the head from side to side. We're looking straight up toward the sky. A couple options. You can remain right here. You can interlace those fingers behind you. You can also tuck those shoulders under, which will make it easier to press the hips higher. It's also a nice heart center opener here. Notice the tendency in any position to allow the knees to fall open wide and extend. See if you can squeeze them together gently as if you're holding a ball or a block between the legs here. Feet are rooted down onto the mat, pressing those hips up. Good. Notice if there's any shake happening, that is okay. Breathing here, really pressing yourself up, challenging yourself here. Again, tuning into what is difficult and seeing if you could stay there for a couple extra moments as you breathe. On the next inhale, release the shoulders if they're tucked, release the hands, and then exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time, allowing the hips to be the last thing that come to rest on the mat here. Good. Take a breath here, resting right where you are. Good. And then inhale, counter posture, tuck the knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the knees. You can stay here. You can rock from side to side, or if you'd like, you can tuck that head in toward the knees, stretching out those shoulders in that opposite direction, kind of getting a stretch through the neck. So pressing the knees against the arms slightly. So it's almost like you're doing a sit up here. It's kind of a weird stretch, but it feels really good through the back here. Deepens that curvature through the spine. Good. Deep inhale. And then exhale, let's go ahead and release. We're going to extend our feet straight out to the end of the mat, zip up the legs, point the toes, and then inhale, bring those arms up overhead, reach them all the way above the head, away from the body on the mat here, coming into a full body stretch. So feel the heels, the back of the calves, the glutes, the shoulders, and the tops of the arms engage with the mat as you reach in either direction. So you're feeling that lovely arch through the spine, shoulders shrug up toward the ears. Imagine you're being pulled in either direction. Fingers are spread wide, toes are spread wide, reaching, 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 feeling that beautiful full body stretch. Oh my gosh, seeing if you can stretch maybe a millimeter more. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, release. Stay right where you are for a moment. Arms up overhead, feet just right where they are. Notice this absence of activity. Lovely. Inhale, go ahead, bring those soles beneath the knees once again. Tuck that tailbone slightly, bring those arms, one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Allow the knees to fall open wide and bring the soles of the feet together for your reclined down angle. So this is a nice, very gentle hip opener here. It's such a great posture, such a great practice. Now you're welcome to simply open with no support. If you'd like, you can always use those blocks on any of the sides to support that opening through the legs here. So maybe it's the high side, maybe it's the medium side, low, and you can start to work yourself further and further into this fullest opening. It can be very nourishing as well, even if you're like, hey, I'm flexible, I don't need it, to kind of pop those blocks under there anyway. It just really softens that stretch even further. So wherever you are, hand on the belly, hand on the chest, maybe closing the eyes as we come into this nice little hip opener and taking just a couple moments here. I want you to tune into the breath, and I want you to specifically for the next few moments to notice which hand is moving more. So breathing normally, tuning into the breath and noticing which hand is moving more, meaning it's rising or falling. Just notice. So notice here which hand is moving more. If it's the one in your chest, that may be an indication that you need to slow the breath down a little bit. If you're breathing deep into your belly, it's usually an indication that you're at ease, your body feels restful. So take a couple more deep breaths and see if you can really focus on moving that hand over the belly more than the one over the chest. Last breath here. Release the control of the breath now, and we're going to settle into final relaxation. So you can stay right here if you'd like. You can extend one leg and keep that opposite foot in for fallen tree. You can extend both legs if you'd like. You can readjust the arms to a more comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you. You're also welcome to lay on your side or on your belly, or you can return to a seated position and treat this final part of practice like a seated meditation. It's totally up to you. But as you settle into this position, just notice that natural rhythm of the breath. We're staying with our focus on the breath here, and we're noticing those inhales and exhales. And now, if you notice the mind wanders off, the moment you've noticed, celebrate the noticing, and then come back to the breath, come back to the inhales and exhales. If it makes sense for you, perhaps reincorporating the mantra we used at the beginning of our practice. Inhale, I am. Exhale, clear. Inhale, I am. Exhale, clear. Remaining here with the breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of the practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time and I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here. Loving speech and deep listening are wonderful methods for opening the door of communication with loved ones. Bringing your awareness back into the space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air, and then slowly exhaling the breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking the body up. And when it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here as you make your way on up into a seated position, and we close out our practice together today. So find a comfortable seat, root into your sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale, drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in the lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if you'd like. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank, you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly stretch session with Yoga for Caregivers. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. You can find Yoga for Caregivers here on YouTube, as well as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So make sure to like, follow, and share. And if you enjoyed this practice, share it with someone who you think will benefit. That's how more people learn about us. There's tons of practices every week, including mine. I'm here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars and set your alarms. And I hope to see you in a future practice. Have a delightful rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Bye.